30 hertz straight up.
Hello, thank you for tuning in to another wonderful episode of Lupus Has No Face, the podcast where we talk about real life, real struggles, and lupus and beyond. I'm your host, Savannah Burks, and we have our special guest back for the second time because one episode was not going to do it. Okay, we got Mr. Lorenzo Williams in the building and his lovely wife, Danirees. Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Glad
How
to be
was
here.
how was y'all drive up?
It was good. It was good.
It was
cool.
good.
Yeah, Capitol Drive as usual.
It was the expressway was extremely full for some strange, odd reason though.
It's Thursday and it's construction and
It's Wednesday
oh,
Is that
get me
what it is?
together.
and
Wednesday.
it's like six something. So yeah, it was okay.
That's what it is.
Okay, good to know.
Okay, I was coming up. What's that, Fond du Lac? And I'm dipping. Like, I don't know, they digging like holes in the street, big old square holes.
Well, that's always.
And it's just like, dude, I said, oh my gosh. I wear
Yeah.
glasses. I didn't have them on, so I couldn't see until I actually got close up on the thing.
Oh my god.
I said, this ain't this about it. So it was like 3 of them.
Fond du Lac Avenue.
I can't stand it.
Yeah.
So before we jump into it, for the people that did not watch it, and if you haven't watched it, please go to Lupus Has No Face podcast. Watch the first episode of last week so you can catch up and it'll make sense this week. Okay. So can you briefly tell them about what we talked about last week as far as your diagnosis, just briefly to bring them in for the people that did not tune in last week?
Okay, so I'm my name is Lorenzo Williams and I'm a 4-time cancer survivor. I've been dealing with cancer since I was 17 years old. I've had 4 different type of cancers, and so we kind of just went over what kind of cancers I had. When I was 17, I had lymphoma, and then I ended up getting radiation treatment and had some of my spleen removed and some other things, and then the radiation ended up destroying my thyroid. And then in 2018, I ended up with a rare bladder cancer that they had no case study on. I had a major surgery over at the Mayo Clinic. They removed the bladder, and then 2 months later, the cancer came back, spread into my stomach and my rib cage, and I was given 3 to 6 months to live. But the doctor told me that they didn't think that I would live past 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then we survived that, and we created, obviously, Journey to a Better Health. And that is really the kicker about my story, is the fact that I was given a short time to live, and we turned down all traditional medicine, and we're here today.
Dope. Tom, can you please go on my page and look for where the doctor said that he was a fluke? So when he's able to find that, we're just going to put that up and let y'all see what the doctor had to say, right? People always want evidence. Okay, so we're going to show y'all some evidence today, even though the evidence is sitting right in front of you. So, Ms. Danirees, as a wife and supportive partner, what were your first emotions when you learned of Lorenzo's diagnosis?
Well, I'm very spirit led, and the spirit told me I had to help him. I had to stay. And if you guys haven't read our book, we weren't married at the time of the diagnosis. So before, I knew that I had to be Mrs. Williams before he went into surgery. so that I can have certain authorities that you don't get as being a fiance or girlfriend. So we weren't married. We were planning a destination wedding when we got the news.
Mm.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know what spirit driven is, what, because that's not a look, right?
Mhm.
Can you explain that in some words?
So, I didn't grow up in the church. So I'm not a religious person, but I knew that there was always something higher than myself. And so I went on my own spiritual journey to figure out what that is. And, the Lord always put certain things in your life for a reason.
For sure.
And I strongly believe in predestination, like preordained to do certain things. And to fast forward all of that, me and my husband now, it was just really, it was fate. The way everything happened, the way it happened. So it was something inside of me that I could feel, that I knew, it's just like that tug where, you got that deep rooted feeling, like,
Mhm.
how your conscience tell you when you shouldn't be doing something.
Right.
You ain't got no business doing. Let me say it that way. Right. And you like do it anyways.
Mhm.
And then something bad happened. No, this in the reverse was saying you have to stay here for this.
And that doesn't always look so pretty, does it?
No, I seen enough in his life to know that he didn't know what unconditional love was. And I needed to be there unconditionally. And this was a part of that journey.
So you felt like it was a duty that you needed to fulfill.
I had to do it. It was definitely God led, that I needed to be there for him, to show him what unconditional love was. Because love is conditional with everyone, and they don't realize what unconditional love is, because in your vows, it tells you for richer, for poor, for better, for worse. It says nothing about love if you really listen to the vows.
Mhm.
So we actually started our vows in the better or worse, right?
That's how we started.
We started there.
With the
So
worst.
it was really the Lord grooming us for where we are today, to help others who are going through something like that.
And the reason why I asked you that, because I got a couple of messages that I was reading before you guys came in, that when people pray and they're seeking for guidance and things of that nature, they in their mind, they think it's supposed to be pretty. And it's not always pretty. If you're trying to fulfill a duty or you're supposed to do something, it's not always pretty. And I think people get that confused because of God. They like God want nothing to be ugly and want nothing to be, it's not supposed to be confused, but it doesn't make sense to the naked eye, right?
Right.
One of the things that, real quick though, that I thought was real powerful from Danirees' perspective was, she did say to me, she was like, listen, before you go into surgery and before you make this commitment to have this surgery, we have to be married. And I got it, but I really didn't get it. And what people need to know is you really have to have someone that can speak for you on your behalf when you're dealing with the type of stuff that we have been through.
For sure.
Because if you don't have somebody on your side, then those people will try and do things that you may not be able to comprehend
Right.
when you're sick and under medicine. And they tried that. And if we had not been, we did a rush marriage before we got married. And now that I look back, it was the wisest thing we could have done.
Yes. I had to be in a position of a power of attorney because I wanted to be able to speak on his behalf to make sure that he stayed alive. Period. I don't want y'all guessing, because they're practitioners. You have to understand that. And I'm not knocking them for what they went to school for. They're good for what they're good for, but there's always a cutoff point.
Yes.
And so they're practicing. So when it gets to the point where I see that you're just practicing and you're unsure, like if I could recreate that moment of us being in Minnesota. This was after the cancer came back, and there were about 21 doctors in the room.
Yeah.
trying to figure out what to do. And he was in the bed dying, trying to fight for his mind. Listen, don't get it twisted. He's very mentally strong. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here today.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
So because of his mental strength, we were able to make it through that. But I'm going to tell you this story. It's in the book. Get it? Because those doctors were in there standing around. They didn't know what to do. Do you hear me? I pulled a doctor to the side who God led me to, and I talked to her and I said, we're leaving Monday. Don't give him anything else.
She made them take everything off. They had to ask me, but I said to her, they said to me, hey, can we give you this medicine? And I say, hey, talk to her.
Exactly.
And then they said they wanted to give me stuff. And when she decided that she wanted them to take everything off of me,
yes,
they had to ask me. And I said, is that what you want to see happen? She said, yes, we're getting out of here.
Yes.
And I made them I stopped taking their medicine.
Yep.
I told them they was trying to fill me with chemo. Even they knew that I was dying and didn't tell us. We didn't find out. And I know we got to keep going.
That part.
But we didn't find out that they had already known that I was dying.
Yes.
But we didn't even find out that I was dying until I got back to Wisconsin.
Yes.
They never told us.
They never told us.
The doctor here told us.
Nope. When we got back,
oh my God,
he just had this look on his face. He was shocked that we were not aware of how severe the situation was.
You know what's it's not funny, but you know what's what word am I looking for? Dishonest. I'm gonna use dishonest. That they do it all the time. Like a lot of warriors that I counsel and things of that nature, I tell them, what do your paperwork say? The doctors communicate with them what they want to communicate with them, but it's on the paperwork. Yep. And when I told her to go look at her records, she was shocked. Yeah. I'm like, you have to look at those things.
You have to read.
You have to yes. You have to get your records. You have to see what's going on with yourself.
You have to be active in your own health.
But our disclaimer with Journey to a Better Health, and I know we've talked about this because we're partnering as we grow to help other people.
For sure. Yes.
We don't come against the doctor.
Correct.
For sure.
We want to partner with the doctor. We want the doctor to understand our perspective. And we want the doctor to understand if we make a decision that we want to take natural supplements and we want to do these things, because we really need to understand that right now, people need to get it that real soon. And it's harder and harder to even get in to see the doctor.
Yes,
especially if you're not already a patient.
If you're not paying attention.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's harder to get in to even see a doctor. Mm-hmm. So, when she said we was getting out of there, we got out of there. Mm-hmm. The doctor that said I was a fluke, he was also, when all of those 20 something doctors was in the room, he was sitting on a couch by himself, just looking at me. And you heard him say that. Well, I asked him, what was on your mind? He said, you wasn't gonna live, that you were gonna die.
That's right.
And we got up out of there, we dragged out of there, and we made it back. They put fentanyl patches on me. I didn't even know what it was, but a fentanyl patch now, it pumps medicine inside of you at certain times.
Yep, throughout the day.
And I was so discombobulated on my way home, and it was just, it's very, very important to have a support system. And unfortunately, a lot of times it's limited.
Yes, it is.
That's why when we were talking about last time, when we were talking about expectations, you really can't have any expectations. You have to kind of focus in on who is your support system and put your energy there. And I don't care if it's one person.
Yes, that is absolutely correct, because the moment that something bad happens to you, that's who who your support system is.
That's when the truth comes.
And that's the unconditional love, because even though it's so hard to be there for someone that is going through that, you make a conscious decision to say, I'm going to see this throughout, like throughout 100%, not lacking, not nothing. I'm going to be there. And that takes away from the person that's who you supporting, right? Whew, that's a lot. Okay. What does love through the battle personally mean to each of you? No, go ahead. You go.
Well, this is a real good opportunity for me to say this. This experience that I've had with this wonderful woman, this has given me a whole nother level of respect for the woman, for my sisters, because oftentimes we have such distorted relationships and things of that nature. But like she said, I was getting such unconditional love. And, at while we were going through this, my wife was asking me, what do you want for me to do the whole time? And whatever I said, whatever I spoke to my life, she got right to it and followed whatever was coming from my spirit. It was so different. It was anointed. So I have a whole new level of respect for the sisters. I understand what the position, the nurturing ability of the Black woman is. My wife nurtured me back to life through respecting my mind, respecting me. I would be up all night long in front of the TV, searching for things to save my life. I began to tap into so many different things.
Yes.
And I would say things to my wife, and she'd take it in the kitchen. She said, "Is this what your spirit is saying?" I said, "Yes." She'll take it into the kitchen and turn it into foods and things like that and feed it to me. We came up with our own
Products,
recipes. Yes, we have.
Yeah, and
Yeah, we had to figure it out. We had to
She
figure it
logged
out.
every step of what we did. She
Yes,
logged it.
because
How much dedication that takes.
Yes, because listen, God showed me the future. I can't explain it. Right, it's a moment, but I seen the end of it. We just had to go through it. That's all I know. Like, I know, just go through it. Right? No, not around it, not below. We got to go through it. And then the Holy Spirit said, when you get through this, though, you in the fire right now, but I'm fine tuning you. Right? And so when my husband said, when God told him something, what to do, what to take, well, why would you not listen? Because this person is in a dark place, right? You can't not be connected to God being that close to death.
You can't. It's impossible.
You have to have some spiritual anointing in order to be able to walk through something like that and still fight.
And I don't want to say it's impossible, because there's a lot of people that die on their deathbed without even trying, because they're so mad at the world. So I don't even want to say impossible, but you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And I'm sure you helped him with all of that.
Yes.
And I was reading the book of Joel, and it says that sometimes, we be so mad, like, why is this happening to me? Why am I losing everything? And God takes and strips you from everything because he wants you to depend on him. He wants you to depend on him so he can multiply what you thought you lost. And so sometimes the things that we go through is meant for us to go through it. It is absolutely meant for us to go through it. So when we know what our purpose is, we can walk through our purpose and be able to bring people up abundance to give what we already received from him.
And to discipline you for the blessing that's coming.
Oh my God. That's discipline for sure. For sure. So you didn't answer your question though. So what does no, it's okay, because we was talking. Yeah. What does love through the battle personally mean to each of you? Well, he answered what you did.
Yeah, to me, it's just unconditional. It goes back to that. That's gonna be my answer. When this is my soulmate, right? Regardless of what's happening, we can fight, we can scream. I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna say, baby, we having salad this morning because we fasting today, and then maybe I'll make you a nice bigger breakfast tomorrow. So he know you take your nutrition, you drink your water.
Because some of the stuff, listen, whatever's, I'm sorry.
Y'all chose each other no matter what. It's hard to do that.
It is.
For most people, it's very hard to choose each other, especially when you're going through the midst of a storm.
I think that relationships, for me, if I'm being honest. I think that relationships have been painted in this false narrative where it's supposed to be fluff bubbles and cotton roses all the time. And that's not what it is. You have to love a person where they're at.
You gotta love a person where they're at.
You have to accept who they
You
are.
gotta accept who they are.
And you can't try to change them.
And you can't try to change them, but definitely communication with understanding that has to be as proper. God has to be the center, but you have to have communication with understanding.
If you
have to be able to articulate.
If you have God first, my husband, I know after everything that he's been through, I know that that's there. Like he's spirit led. If he says the Holy Spirit is telling me to do something, then that's what we doing. I got my pen and paper out. What we doing next, right? Because you pulled yourself out of a level that a lot of individuals that we seen perish. We all have seen, everyone has seen them perish.
Yeah, for
right?
Sure.
But he pulled himself out of that regardless, time and time again.
For sure.
So why would I not listen? Why would I not be obedient? Why would I not be that Proverbs, 31 woman, right? Yeah. Because it's blessings within that for me.
It is
right, and I want those blessings. So
it's real. It's when you sit next to the person that you deal with every day, and you listen to them talk. I can honestly say one thing about Danirees, and I think we've been together for about 12 years. And
yeah,
I think one thing I can say about the sisters as well, y'all can be a little rough, okay? But I will say this: my wife has never switched up on me. She's always treated me. Love. She's always treated me the same since I'm something now. Yeah. I'm a man's man, and I'm an interesting fella, and I'm a leader. And a lot of time people like the leader,
right?
Right.
And
and I've been tempted, many times, and she's never switched up on me, and that's always been something that just blew my mind. It made me. I'm so used to the way people treated me. People who have put me in a box for all my life. They put me in this box,
trauma,
as a street slick, womanizing type guy, or they just put me in a box, and they would never let me come out of this box. And even while I was sick, my own people that was closest to me, they left me in that box of the person that they felt like I was, and which didn't allow them to give me the grace that I needed. You understand what I'm saying?
That's everything about them, not you.
Exactly.
I get it, but
everything about them.
But it was hard to get.
Right.
But when you're battling and you're fighting for your life, that was the hardest part for me.
That's because he's a love person.
The hardest part for me.
I understand that.
He loves hard.
I love hard. And
the hardest part for me was the way that the people that I thought that cared the most about me treated me,
or should have.
And she saw it with her own eyes. Yep. And they created narratives about me, and they created narratives that I was the problem.
Yep.
And I'm the person that's the issue, was the reason why they not there.
Yep.
This is how this is. I'm talking about this. Can we talk about what just happened to me recently?
Yes, we get.
We're gonna get there.
Wait,
did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Well, hold on.
I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the sickness.
Oh,
that I just had.
Yes. So I like to let my guests read the comments. Yasu, my sister, just tuned in. Thank you so much for always supporting me. I greatly appreciate it. So we're gonna read. One of you guys are gonna read her comments.
Which one am I reading?
One at the bottom, big white.
Okay, right there.
Oh, okay. It is not uncommon for those diagnosed with one type of cancer has increased chances of getting diagnosed with another type of cancer. People have to understand their assignment from God.
She's a doctor too.
Need an advocate. Okay.
I told you to change your name and put doctor in front of your name. I don't know why she didn't do that just yet.
Okay.
But okay, so we're gonna move on to the power of partnership. How did your relationship dynamics change after the diagnosis? Oh my God, my tongue was not working right. After the diagnosis.
How did our partnership change after the diagnosis?
Yes.
I mean, I would say that bonded us closer together.
Did it?
Because think about it this way. If a person can get through when you're down, right? They say that. Like if you're down and you're out and look, and this person is loving you through this,
Yes,
then when you hit that level of success, you know this is your ride or die.
that is right.
Right?
That is
So
right.
he got diagnosed, and I wanted to prove to the world that they were wrong about.
So you had an assignment.
I had an assignment to prove that God is real, and to have someone that was willing. See, a person can be sick, but that don't mean they got to be willing.
That's
They
true.
ain't got to take no nutrition.
That is true.
They could be like, I don't want that. I'm not doing this. No,
And we
bring me some
experienced
chicken
that.
today.
We experienced that by
True.
trying to help
Right?
others.
True.
But
Yeah.
he was willing. Do you understand what I'm saying,
You know, I
sis?
was working as
He
a
said,
team.
well, you finna do what? And if it didn't work out, I mean, we just have so many amazing, amazing stories in the journey that we went through. And yes, we had hard times. No, it wasn't fluff clouds or, hearts everywhere. But through that fine tuning has made us the unit that we are today.
You know, we don't talk about it often, but even after 2018, after 2000, was it 2018? After we survived the being told that I only had a few months to live and the
Yes.
cancer began to reverse.
Mhm.
After then, I ended up with COVID,
Right.
and I was in ICU for 7 days, not
Yep.
breathing on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Right after that,
And I had to force him to be on the phone on video so he can just,
they
even
locked
if
me
he
in a room.
couldn't talk,
They locked me in a room.
I said, we're going to be on the phone on the video so you can see what we're doing on this end. So you can keep fighting. This is your family. Here we are. I'm doing Malika's hair. We're doing this, so that he can actually see what's happening. And then I was on another phone calling them, making sure they knew, hey, y'all won't let me in the building. They wouldn't let me upstairs, but I'm here. And I was sneaking him nutrition
I said I
in
want.
a bag.
I told my wife I don't want to take their medicine. Send me what we
I
have.
was sneaking
So
alkaline
she snuck
water,
me water. I was drinking
nutrition
our water, our nutrition.
in the bag.
Go ahead with your back stuff. Breaking all the rules. Get your husband
Yes.
back together.
Yes.
Listen, you got to do what you got to do.
Yes,
For real,
ma'am.
especially if it worked
For-
the first time.
Yep.
Oh my God. What have been some of the hardest moments to navigate as a couple, and how did you push through them together?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, let me do this. Let me just say this. After we survived 2018 and we survived, well, first of all, I lost a daughter while I was fighting cancer in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I was in my prior marriage. She had 3 daughters. I raised them. One of them ended up with lupus, and the lupus, she ended up, her kidneys ended up being destroyed. And then, she went through a whole lot. I was there for all of that, but she died while I was fighting cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And then after we got past that and we were fighting to get me to heal, Danirees' oldest son, who I also raised, 17 years old, a couple of weeks after his birthday, died in a terrible car accident. It was all over the news.
Yeah.
7 kids in the car. All of them was in critical condition.
Mm-hmm.
Eyeballs lost.
Yeah.
All
It
kind
was
of things. We're the only ones lost our son.
Yeah,
Dead
he
on the
died
scene.
instantly.
Died instantly on the
Yeah.
scene.
Mm-hmm.
He was been a little, it was a little hard. We was having challenges with his behavior. He wasn't really listening to us like he should, and then we had some other people that had his ear and was influencing and, being a part of helping to cause the issue. Well, he died on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about when we're talking about the challenge, and then the way that the family treated my wife.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't there for her. They talked about her. They didn't help. They went and did a repass and didn't invite her.
For your son?
Before
Yeah,
they did the
yeah.
repass, they did a
What is that when you do?
what do you call a
balloon release?
memorial?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They went to the tree, put stuff up and everything. I was arriving, everybody was there, and I was the last person walking in. I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I walk up and I got all these people. I mean, it had to be about 80 people out there
And they all had talked
around,
about her,
and they
disrespected her.
just had the whole memorial thing without
they
me.
blamed it on us because he was being disobedient, and he was being told he didn't have to listen in the house. I was a stepfather. But I'm saying all of this to say that the Lord will allow you to go through things like we said, so that he can prepare you for what he has for you. Because if you don't, if he doesn't allow you to go through things so you can see, then you'll be trying to drag people with you.
Yeah.
Most people would not have made it through what y'all, just this alone, most people would not have made it. It would have been too much for them. And they would have separated. And they would have been apart.
That's powerful.
Most people would not have made it because their mental capacity would not have been able to be there.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let it consume them. So just to hear that is amazing, because most people run away from all of that. They would call it too much drama, too much negativity. Maybe this is God not wanting us together. Maybe this is God's sign of us not. They would do anything to manipulate the situation in order for them to break apart.
It brought us
What
closer.
should have, because y'all both wanted the same thing.
Yeah, brought us closer.
All y'all stories just get greater and greater and greater, even though it's so much. It's so beautiful.
It is a lot.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It is, but it's so beautiful.
It's faith, unseen faith. My husband, when we were just engaged, you know, I would say this. I like business. I was interested in it. Didn't know nothing about it, right? Rookie. Very, very, I'm in baby stage. He's in the meat, right? I'm still on the milk. I wanted to do it, right? But he taught me something. And I haven't even shared this with him yet, but it just came to me right now. It came to me right now. He taught me something, because he just do, right? He's a go-getter. He has untapped faith. And most people don't know what that is, because they want to, let's talk about it. Let's do this. Let's do that. He like, ain't nobody got time for all of that. We're going to make business cards. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. He sets the stage. He just do. Do you understand me? Like, he starts the foundation. He like, babe, let's just start building. We got what we need. Let's get it done. And that taught me, I took that analogy and now I can elevate that to a new level, because God has shown me, okay, well, if we doing that, then let's just do what we waiting on, right?
What we waiting on? This mess up, we got to go back to the drawing board. Like,
that's
just
okay.
do it.
And that's okay. And that's what he taught me with his faith. Because faith, you can't see that.
You can't. You just got to trust it.
You can't touch it.
You can't.
Right?
You can't.
He had faith. Because for a person to step out in something new and say, I'm just going to do, that's a whole other level of faith. People too timid. Oh, no, let me write this. Let me look this. Let me do. No, let's just do.
What if that happen? Are you ready? You ain't going to never be ready.
Never.
I tell people all the time, you will never be ready.
You will never be ready.
Just do it and give it 110%.
Yeah.
If it fails, that doesn't mean that wasn't meant. Go back to the
drawing board
and figure out which direction to take. But it didn't mean that.
Let's correct yourself, because sometimes you do stuff wrong.
Yeah, sometimes you do things wrong. And it's okay.
It's okay.
Lord have mercy. Y'all listen.
I just get started. That's all I know how to do.
Yes, you do.
No, for real.
That's how I live my life.
Oh my God.
Just get started.
How do you keep your marriage and friendship strong, even when facing exhaustion, fear, or uncertainty? How do you keep it strong, friendship and marriage?
Well, you know, I'm not an insecure man, but I am a man that I had a really, really hard time trusting. I've been hurt by some people that I feel that should have my best interest, very close people. And so my trust level was really, really hard to deal with. And I think that Danirees helped me in that area.
Because you was willing to receive the help.
Yeah, I mean, but she helped me because it took a while for me to get it, but she was patient with me. She just, no matter what I did, she just kept trusting me. And she kept treating me the same. And it started convicting me if I was wrong, right? Because it kept treating me the same. And I don't know. It's just.
This is so cute. This is so cute. Y'all see the love bugs on the couch.
No, it's like it's real, and for me, it was so real that it was unreal because I had nothing but disappointments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the way I want to say it. It was unbelievable because of all of the disappointments that I had had.
Mhm.
So for me to think that this was real, I was always, like, I don't know about this. She being too nice now.
Well, she got up her sleeve,
And then,
right?
and then, she wasn't. My wife worked at a job where she was making about $65,000 a year. I was an entrepreneur. I've been in taxes for 20 years, and I had different businesses, all in which I learned from the game. I never went to college. I didn't even go to high school. I went back and got me a high school equivalency. I'm self-educated, and I cheated to get the equivalency. But I've owned my own tax company for 20 years. I have had several businesses. I've had a credit restoration business. Obviously, I had a locksmith business. And so when I was sick, I kind of forced Danirees to learn taxes because I had been
True.
in taxes so long.
I did not want to do it.
I knew that my tax company would feed her and my children.
Uh-huh.
If she did that for the next 3 or 4 months, I knew that it would feed her for at least a year.
Mhm.
Because that's what I had established. At one time, I had like 300 clients that I had built.
Yeah.
And
That's amazing.
she learned the tax company. She runs the tax company now.
Mhm.
She kind of took over the tax company too.
I mean, that was the goal, right?
but it's okay because I know that if something was to happen to me, and I'm proud of the fact that as a black man that I was able to create an opportunity for my wife,
Mhm.
to have her business, and she does a really, really good job. So I don't know. I just
That is dope. That is
Yeah.
super, super dope.
yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You have anything?
What was the question? I forgot the question.
How do
Sorry,
you
y'all.
keep your marriage and friendship strong even when facing the exhaustion, fear, and uncertainty?
Right. That part. So always, just for me is just I just have to go back to fasting and sometimes just personal development, making sure that if I'm feeling like overwhelmed or too much is going on, and my husband put me onto him, Miles Monroe. I just listen to this guy and he tells me like it is. I get me straight. And God, there's always a message that I need to hear for that day. Let me
Okay.
tell you that. I'll pull it up and the message will come on. And that helps to keep me to sit my little self down somewhere. Right. Because sometimes as women, we can get a little,
Mhm.
and then sometimes we just need to,
Mhm.
sit back and know your place, right? Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
I'm, if you're a little bit out my lane, sometimes here and there, and I just, need to correct myself, and it's not, and we need to be okay with that. Okay, let me correct myself
Yeah, and
and
that
sit
only
my little self
comes in
down
when you
somewhere.
are when he's providing a safe space. So he's provided
Correct.
that safe space, so you are okay to do that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
He's allowed me to have the life that I love living. Let me say that way. Right? I make my own schedule. I do what I want to do, when I want to do it, and how I want to do it.
Talk your stuff, girl. Talk your stuff.
So I'm like, let this man do what he needs to do because I love my life right now. What we need to
But
do.
we work together though.
Y'all heard what
we
he
work
said, so
together.
don't take
Yeah.
a little bit of this
Yeah.
and be like,
Yeah,
she said she needs to stay in her place. Her
Yeah.
husband allows that safe space, so it is
Yes.
okay for her to stay in her
Yeah,
place.
Yes.
Okay, catch all of that.
She told me what she wanted to do. She said, I never had an opportunity to just stay home with my kids.
Yep.
Her son had some damage happen to him early on because she
did.
was at work.
Yep.
He was molested.
Yep.
Some things happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things that she wanted. So I said to myself that my goal is to make sure that she could stay home with my kids. We homeschool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
When I
yeah.
came there, it was these big old binders in there. I'm like, oh,
So
Yep.
that is
um,
beautiful.
Yep.
yeah, it's a blessing, man. And then we need to have more. One of the things right now we lack family unit.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have more family unit, and it's like that's not even. It doesn't seem like that's really celebrated or appreciated anymore.
because people don't understand what unconditional love is.
There you
You know what I
go.
mean? And
That's it.
and like you said, family and relative is something different. So they feel like if their mother and their daddy wasn't there, then why would somebody else be there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because you
Trauma.
are born
That's how I feel.
into something
Abandonment
does not
issues,
mean
like you said.
everybody else would treat you as such.
Yeah.
You can make friends or your woman or your girlfriend or your whoever, whatever, your family. Family is not always blood. I don't
Yes.
see it like that.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I
The
decide,
definition don't either.
yeah, when I decide to be with somebody, that's my main. The household come first. You know what I'm saying? The household come first out of everything else. Everything else is second.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if we're married or not. That's just the structure of how I operate and always operated like that.
Yeah.
Can you describe a time when faith played a powerful role in keeping you both grounded?
The whole time. I mean, I've always and you know it's so interesting because really the things that I learned faith when I was in the streets.
Mm.
I was going through so much as a young man trying to figure it out that you know I knew that there, like Danirees said, I've always knew that there was something greater than me. I knew that there was something greater than me within me. And I found out that whatever was greater within me, that was greater than me, it was within me and it wasn't outside of me. It was in me. You know, I just didn't know how to develop it early on. But once I realized that I could develop it, if I didn't have faith already, I would not have made it.
No.
I wouldn't have made it. I knew in my mind that God had the ability to provide. If the enemy had something in the earth that could destroy you, then I thought in my mind always, surely God got something that could heal you or fix you. So I think that just the support that my wife gave to me, and I knew that I had a responsibility when they told me I was going to pass away. I had a real long prayer with the Lord. My smallest daughter at the time, when I came out of surgery, my newborn daughter, she was actually born on my birthday. And she just looked me in my eyes for about 4 minutes straight.
Yeah. She's about 10 months.
Just looked me in my eyes, didn't just look me in my eyes.
She's about 10, 11 months.
And I asked the Lord, I said, God, I have to be here for her. Allow me to live so I can be here for my daughter. I asked him for, I ain't gonna say how many years, but you know, I'm coming up on some stuff and I gotta go back to the table. I gotta go back to the table because some stuff happened since then, you know. But you know, what would you say?
I would say watching him fight the way he fought, I have no excuses not to fight harder.
Wow.
I say that's all the time.
Wow.
Like, don't you have a short fuse when people start complaining about, I mean, it's probably something to them, but when they're healthy, they do all of that. And it's just like, are you serious right now? Are you serious right now?
No excuses.
You are welling, healthy body.
You got all your tools. That's
all
what I
of
say.
It.
You got all your tools.
Yeah.
Fix it.
What does that mean, babe, when you say that? You got all your tools.
You got all your tools. You got your sense of touch, taste. You got your mobility. I mean, your mind. It's in the right place. You got all your tools. You're just lazy. Now admit that. Okay, I'm lazy. I'm a habitual procrastinator. Let's move on past that. Like, you got all your tools. And when somebody come to me, oh, I'm busy. My busy is busy.
Ooh,
and then that busy had 3 more. So what's your excuse? Yeah. You got all your tools. Just get it done.
And keep in mind, while we were going through all of this, we had 2 infant children.
Yes. And
traveling back and forth.
They're
to Minnesota.
15 months apart.
Traveling back and forth to Minnesota. I had one of my relatives that supposed to love me so much tell my wife, now don't call me because I'm not watching no kids.
I'm not watching no kids.
What? That is ugly. That is so
Yeah.
hurtful.
Listen,
That is so hurtful.
Listen.
But that is so ugly of them.
they wasn't calling my wife to check on my
No.
wife and our kids or nothing.
But that didn't bother me.
It didn't bother
Thank
her.
God.
Do you know
But
why?
it tore my guts out.
It bothered him, but it didn't bother me. You know why?
Why?
Because my relatives already learned me.
Mm.
So I was already ready for that rejection. I figure if they can reject me, I have no, listen, that's my motto. I have no expectation.
This a bad girl now.
I have no
He
expectation
always
from
call you a
you.
bad girl.
No, I love hard,
This a bad girl.
okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to love you unconditionally. I don't care where you at. I'm coming to get you if you my family. We're going to get through this together, regardless of what's going on, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to be right there the next morning. We can fight. I ain't going to talk. That's fine. Let you cool off. I'm going to call you back like, so you want chicken or steak? Which one you want? Because we
These-
got to eat.
Yeah, when people are not used to be loved unconditionally, it
They're
messes them
not.
up.
It does.
It messes them
does.
up. Like
And
you still want to be
when,
nice.
when I see you as my family, like this is my family. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever is going on, we gonna be right back. Like we there, and it's just unconditional love for me. So they already had my relatives had already learned me on how to cope. So when I turned, I would say it was like my early 30s. I got my clues and I bought all my vows, and the problem was solved because I knew then God told me you have an expectation level that you need to get rid of. I put an expectation level on myself. I turned that to me. So I expect me to do a certain thing because I am the only thing that I can control. And everyone else I can't.
You know, one time Danirees said to me
Yeah.
just recently, and then I'll let you go. She said to me recently, she said, and it just means so much when the person that's next to you can speak a well of you and it's real, right?
Look how y'all
Vice
just
versa.
glow. That's so
But
cute.
but you know, she said to me the other day, and she didn't know this, but I went and I cried a little bit. She said, "You have been through so much, and I've watched your walk." She said, "I would never question you if you tell me God said do something."
I already got
That's
my pen and
powerful.
paper out.
And I was like, "Girl, gone somewhere." She was like, "No, I'm serious. I'll never question you. If you tell me God said something, I'll never question it." And if your wife can say that to you, the person that's with you every day, that let me know that at least she respects my walk, that she knows that I love the Lord. And that's why I was saying last time when we met, you know, I've had so many people say to me when they hear me talk, I talk about the natural journey and, you know, the Lord, that we had products that we healed ourselves, like the products that you're looking at on the table. These are our formulas.
I drink.
You
Which
know,
one I drink every day?
You
That
drink-
one?
you drink that. Yeah, those are our formulas. And, you know, that was so hard for me because I'm thinking like, wow, everybody's seeing me survive cancer. So the whole community is gonna get behind me. They're gonna get behind this.
Mm-mm.
And everybody and
Told 'em no.
they
Too much like right.
listen, they don't. I thought the churches would call me.
Mm-mm.
And they know my story, but those same pastors will see me and say, "Man, hey Doc, I see your story. You a phenomenal person, but you never
Mm-mm.
invited somebody like me to come talk to the people."
No.
You
And-
know, and that, you know, I had
You
to,
know what?
yeah.
But you still gotta put your 110 in because people see you.
Mm.
They
They
just
know.
don't know. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
just not gonna let you know that
Mm-mm.
they see you. They're
Right.
watching you.
Well,
They're
they-
probably trying to imitate it, all types of stuff.
They
But don't ever stop
He's in-
doing what you're doing
he's-
because once your time comes, it's
he's
gonna
in
come.
bad soil. And you can't grow beautifulness in bad soil. So we need to get in new soil so that we will be fruitful.
And you will be.
And we are good.
We're already on the path to new
we got
new soil.
God's, you know, for what we have been through,
Yes.
this last journey we just came off of.
Yes. Hint.
You know, I know you want to wait on this, but you know, I mean, this last experience we had.
Wait, which
God-
way? No, hold on.
Wait.
Which one you about to talk about?
Not the boy.
Okay.
What just happened with the
Okay,
lungs.
go ahead. I was just
All
about
right,
to say, go
so
ahead.
Now that's 3 battles,
Yeah.
And then, every year you go and you get your, when you have these type of things, you go get your checkups.
Yeah.
And when for a person that have had cancer and surgeries, you go get your scan.
Mm-hmm.
And so around January, maybe, right?
Yeah, I want to say end of January, February.
In
You
January,
went and got your
February,
scan
I went
early
and got my
February. Yeah.
scan, and they saw something in my lung. And I told Danirees, I said, they saw something in my lung, and I felt something. I said, babe, something's wrong.
Yeah. You was
I
saying
was,
something
I
was
was coughing
wrong
weird and stuff like
beforehand.
that.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to do a biopsy, did the biopsy, came back. Now this is number 4,
Mhm.
all different cancers.
Yeah.
You have lung cancer.
Mhm.
And I'm saying, well, how did I get lung cancer? What did I, And so when we sit down and talk about it, they said that they believe that the radiation treatment that I got when I was 17, 18 years old
Mhm.
never stopped.
Never
It's
worked.
called
Never
scar
stopped working.
tissue
Yep.
in my lungs.
Mhm.
And the scar tissue created its own DNA,
Mhm.
and that DNA turned into what is called an adenocarcinoma cancer.
Mhm.
The cancer was in the middle of the scar tissue.
Mhm.
None of the doctors wanted to touch it here in Wisconsin.
Nope.
So we had to go back up to the Mayo Clinic,
Mhm.
and the doctor said that they believed that they could get it out. And I ended up having to have a major surgery. I had 9 surgeries since May 20th of 2025. Look at me.
Yeah, I remember when I
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
seen you, and you was just like you said like a month ago or something like that. You just,
Yeah.
like you up walking around and stuff already.
Yes.
Back on my bike, everything.
Mhm.
I share
Doing
my
that
journey.
bike.
He love that's his therapy.
That's my therapy. That's the other thing we try to get people to understand. But I got to the bike, but I made up in my mind that I was going to live.
Mhm.
And the Lord told me to share my journey.
Yep.
Share the good and the bad.
Mhm.
You can see me up walking on my social media right after day after surgery.
That same day.
Same day as
No,
surgery.
he was up walking that same day.
I was up walking.
We did
dragging.
a walk
Yeah.
the same day after the surgery, after all the drugs and everything wore off.
Yeah.
He was up walking that same day. He was like, I want to try to walk. I'm like, for real? Okay, well, if you won't get, I'm walking. Let's do this.
So
Like,
I want to fight. I want to fight. I want to keep fighting.
He's like,
And I
record
said-
it,
and I
record
said,
it.
record it. I said, record
Yep.
it. I said, record the journey.
Yep.
I said, all of it. They said, yes, you want to put this up? Well, I had people come to you should be keeping that between you and God. Get out of here. You ain't even call to check
who
on
is
my
you,
wife.
somebody to say,
Ain't
yeah,
even call
get
to check
out of
on my
here.
listen.
It's always the people that want to take
Listen,
the lint out their
listen.
pocket.
And
That's what I like to say.
and-
You don't mean nothing. Put your lint back in your pocket.
You
ain't been there.
remember that box that I told you about that I've been put in?
Yeah.
The box got even worse to the point to where
It did.
the very key people that should have been there.
Yeah.
But God put who was supposed to be there. Who was supposed to be there. We get this thing in our mind because they have a title to us that we like, why weren't you there?
Yeah.
I learned a long time ago. Like I still kind of battle myself here and there.
Yeah.
That's why I operate in the way that I operate. But you gotta pay attention to the person that is there. Like the people that we expect to be there.
Yeah.
No, and they get no rights.
No.
They get no rights. Nothing.
But
don't give them no attention, feed them anything.
But this is the thing, and that's Danirees has been there, and everybody don't arrive at that place at the same time all the time, right?
True.
And so I had to get there.
Yep.
But while I was going through that, the biggest battle that I was going through wasn't even the sickness.
Yeah.
I know it was the people not being, and I see that.
It was tearing my guts out. No, I'm good.
You good now?
Oh, absolutely.
You good now? Okay.
Yeah. But that's no. But listen though. That's a good point, because that's another thing. Therapy's not a bad thing.
No, I advocate for therapy. But we need to tune up every now and again.
But it's hard to That's why you got to find your own therapy. That's that bike.
Yes, therapy.
That's my therapy.
Yep.
You got what I'm saying? So I begin to tap into my therapy that I need and get my healing on riding long trails, and while I'm on the trail, God's dealing with me and healing me and healing my lungs and healing my mind, and you know what I'm saying. And now I got my stomach back.
Right.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like just because a person got a title don't mean that it don't mean nothing.
Nope.
And so,
Unless they operate within that title.
but you said something that was very powerful.
It's true.
When you're in that state of mind, and this is what I want people to know. When you're in the state of mind and you're looking for, when you're being distracted by what's not there,
Mm-hmm.
you can overlook and not give what is there all of the energy that's necessary.
Yeah.
Focus on the people that's there and absorbing the love from them and absorbing the love from that. And that is the reason why I know that you have created Lupus Has No Face, and why we've created Journey to a Better Health, because we know that people need support. So we're trying to build these. This is why we're doing this, so that people can get the support that they need. That's why we need people to join Lupus Has No Face and become a part of Journey to a Better Health, because we want to create a support system.
Yeah.
We want to create our own tribe.
Yeah.
For sure. Like I said, I was just reading a message from a young lady, and she just told me how much it meant for me to help her through. You know, I'm like, go pull your records, see what's really actually going on with you.
Yeah.
You are supposed to have this, and this. Like, don't let them tell you that. You
Just
got the right to
anything.
choose
That's
another
right.
doctor. And it was probably like less than a month. She came back, was like, I feel so much better. Thank you so much. And that just keeps me going, because we do all the good work in the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we do get tired. It gets tired. It gets frustrating. People
Very.
don't see the ugliness, right?
Nope.
But when somebody validates something, or you get those messages saying how something that you did help them, it makes you fight even harder.
Yes,
because
ma'am.
this don't got nothing to do with me no more.
Nope.
I want you to experience what I am experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just that. It makes my day. It makes it all worth a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
it does.
this was never my assignment. I woke up when people used to say calling. I used to be like, oh, they just talking. God ain't told them nothing, right?
Yeah.
Until Lupus Has No Face. I woke up and it never left my mind. When you say do it, I just did it. I was on the edge of my bed the next morning just doing everything for it.
Yeah.
I don't know where the funds is coming from. I don't know. I didn't know where nothing was coming from.
Just it's
but
gonna
I
work
had the
itself
event that
out.
I had the 10.
Yeah, you
I
get
had
it.
to make it go.
You
It
get
was hours that I did not want to show up.
Yeah.
I still went, and
Yeah.
I still every time I showed up.
Yeah.
So now I understand what a calling means, because this wasn't nothing that I would have seen myself going in.
Yeah.
Everything was fashion for me. But you know what? God said, you're going to be fashionable while you're doing this.
Why you doing this? Yeah.
My first book that I did, that wasn't the book that I wanted to write. I was starting on something else, but I got writer's block.
Yeah.
I finished the book that he wanted me to do in 2 days. It got published and everything within a month. So I'm like, I'm just walking your trail. What you
Faith,
want
man,
me to
what
do?
we gotta do now?
What you want me to do?
listen,
Like, I don't even question you no more.
Listen, here's what I say. I don't want to have a Jonah in a well experience. Now, what you need me to do? Go to Nineveh? I'm gone.
For real.
For real, because I ain't trying to. I don't want no trouble.
Lord Jesus, I promise you. We're going to move on to healing, hope, and communication.
Yeah.
Many couples struggle through communication during health crisis. What helped you both stay honest and emotional connected through it all?
I would say that I'm pretty honest person. I'm straight shooter.
Yes,
like,
he's straight shooter. He's very honest. He
yeah.
communicates amazingly.
Yeah.
That is my issue. Like I don't do well with that at all. He
Yeah.
had to help me out of, because I'm a person that would just be like whatever and just be gone, right? Just no. You need to tell me what you feeling right now so that we can move forward.
Yes.
Right?
'Cause I
You
think
have to.
sometimes people think that if you and don't get me wrong, because I've also learned that sometimes it's best not to say anything, because you might say something
Sometimes
and cause things to be
Yes.
worse.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also learned that it's not good to not communicate.
I have
It's a
a
terrible thing.
trauma there, and he helped me to realize that he
Yeah.
said something to me that made me think. But I have a trauma there because I was never heard or never listened to
Yeah.
by relatives. I just went into shutdown mode. You see what I'm
And nobody
saying?
asked for
So it's like, what was the
wrong.
point of even talking about it? Because no one's listening anyway. So that's kind of how I've been
Yeah.
living and dealing. And
Yeah.
he's like, no. We need to talk about this, pull this out, say this and say that.
Yeah.
So, he's been patient with me in that way of just me verbally saying, okay, no, I can't do this, or no, I don't, let's talk about this. How did that make you feel, etc.
Yeah, because
And,
also if you don't talk about it, it gets worse.
for
Yeah.
sure, it gets
Yeah,
worse in the
yeah,
behavior. And
yeah.
I'm your husband. I need to know what's going on. Because I'm not magical. I
Right, I'm
don't
not a
know
mind
what's
reader.
going in your head, but I see your mood is changing. I see you're not being consistent right now. I see it's not something right there. Your energy is off. So to me, I always ask questions because, or if I'm feeling some type of way, I'm going to say how I feel, because it's not okay for you to go home and be happy and do whatever you're doing while I'm all messed up in the inside. No, you're going to know what's going on and how you made me feel, or whatever the thing may be. I feel
Yeah.
like if you want to know something, you have to ask. And that's a lot of the trauma that people have from when they were a child. They don't know how to communicate, or when
So
you
true.
ask them questions, they get defensive because they don't know how to answer. They haven't been dealt with in that manner. When
Yeah.
you asking something, you so nosy, you asking a lot of questions. No, I'm not. I need to know what's going on.
And then
Talk to me.
what's interesting, a lot of times, the dynamics of relationship, oftentimes an extrovert end up with an introvert. You know what I mean? And the introvert is just not a person that really does a whole lot of. They short-ended. They say what they won't say. They don't have a long conversation about it, and that just tears a extrovert. Just an extrovert. We just don't dig that at all,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what?
I mean, man, why are you short? You ain't got enough to say? No.
But you learn, and but me and Danirees, we've been through so much in a
Yes,
short
sir.
time.
Yes, sir.
So we've been kind of forced to, it's just been us.
Yep.
And we haven't had a
Yes.
whole lot of people just be there
Nope.
for us.
I'm so glad you
Yeah.
guys are saying this, because
Yeah,
people
yeah.
would take that. It's been such a short amount of time. That's a sign of exit. No, that's
Yeah,
not what
yeah.
that means.
Well,
Yeah.
that's another trauma. Like, why you want to leave, right?
Because too much for them to deal with.
We're
It's
She
a
helped
short
me.
amount of time.
She helped me in that area
you're never gonna.
because I was on the
We're
bounce mode
working.
all the time.
We're
See,
working
see?
to be
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yes, you're
We're working to be
working
one.
To be one.
Not only that, I wasn't a spring chicken, right? I was an adult and I had experienced other traumas. We're working through past traumas,
Mhm.
present traumas,
Mhm.
and we're trying to bond to build a future.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we have to work through those issues. You're never going to meet anyone that's perfect. It's not going to happen because you're not perfect, first of all.
Exactly.
Right?
Perfectly flawed.
Thank you.
Okay.
So you have to, like I said, you have to know what that individual is and just love them where they're at.
And it's so funny. And I'm talking about this. This is not just for spouse. This goes
No.
all across the board for relationship. I'm talking about kids,
Across the board.
friendships, everything. People do not. You have no idea how many people I run into that do not know how to properly communicate.
Yeah, they don't.
It's sad.
It is.
It is so sad, and they don't know that they don't know that they don't know how to properly communicate.
Nope.
They swear that they do.
Yeah.
But that's when you get all that rambling. Before we go to the next one, we're going to read some of those comments on the screen, Tom.
Yeah. So Deacon Lisa Jones, my Lord, look at God. God is always in the room.
Yes, he is.
Two or more.
Move on God's time.
That's right.
You don't find a lot of. I'm gonna let you read that one, girl.
You don't find a lot of men that can tap into that.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Thank you
Um,
so much for tuning in and coming with those comments. Make sure you go to Lupus Has No Face podcast, like, subscribe, and share while you're there, and catch up on last week's episode if you have not done so.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead. Oh, I got a question for you. So, how did you take care of yourself while caring for Lorenzo? Who took care of you? What did you do while you were taking care of your husband?
I mean, the Lord took care of me, right? I mean, because I didn't have any family outside of us. No one that would be there for me, that I can depend on. And it's been like that my whole life. So I was always independent in that way. You know, I was never dependent. So to put me in a dependent state, I had to get myself together, because my husband had to help me with that. You know, that was an issue for me, you know, for me to be dependent on my husband, right? I Again, it goes back to those traumas. So
She told me to cut my phone off. Your phone.
those are my alarms. Those are my alarms for my kids telling me what to do, because I be so busy,
Yes, she does.
and then I have to say, it tells me, hey, time to do this. Hey, time to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's how you stay on task.
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. My alarm come up, I'm shutting down what I'm doing. I'm moving on to the
Listen,
next.
those phones cost the cost of a computer. Use them.
I have watched my wife carry so much during fighting for my life,
Yeah.
losing her son,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of my small children, and I've watched the anointing on my wife. I know that my wife did not grow up in church. She did a private study.
Mm-hmm.
I've never met a woman more spiritual than my wife. Never. I've never. No one.
So that leads me to this question.
Yeah.
How important was it for you to see your wife's strength during your healing journey?
My wife, she never. Since I've been with you, you've never let me speak down on myself. Not one time. Because sometimes you're your own worst critic.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm human. It was times where I was tired. I just was like, man, I don't feel like doing this again. Here I go again,
Mm-hmm.
just with the lung cancer. I'm like, dang,
Mm-hmm.
babe, I have my moments where I'd be like, man, do God just want me to leave? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I get back up and she said, no, he don't want you to leave. But to watch her go through that, like when her son died, I reached out to a family member that's really supposed to be really close. And I said, could you just call my wife and check on her? She's going through so much. And that person told me, she can call me. Tell her to call me. No,
Yeah.
they didn't even reach out to my wife.
Me with a shrew.
I'm saying they didn't even call listen, while I was fighting cancer this last time, nobody called my wife to check on my wife and kids.
And that's okay. And it's something else.
That's just crazy to me.
I don't know if it was the book of Job or something else I was reading that says that when you basically are the black sheep or the outcast of the family, the different one, God
please.
separates you for that. And then people will be like, when your light start shining and you start becoming this powerful person, people be like, how is that possible? And it isn't. And why is that?
Mm-hmm.
And it just, a lot of people that are like that.
Listen,
like
I'm going to let God do what he do. And I'm just going to make sure I stay in my lane. That's it.
You said that clear.
She's been powerful. She's been very, very powerful. I don't know how she's done it.
She said she told you God.
But it's definitely been the Lord.
It's definitely him.
You God.
Definitely.
But I also be on her sometimes because she holds a lot in. I don't want, I don't want her to
stress.
He don't want me to
kills, okay?
Right.
So you gotta
he don't want me to have, but listen, this is why I know my therapies. Okay. So if I don't want to do anything, he'll know. I'm like, honey, I ain't doing nothing today. I'm just gonna watch TV.
If she don't want to deal with nobody.
If I don't want to deal with I'm not doing none of that.
She don't let people in our space.
Nope.
When we fighting, everybody get cut off. That ain't a part of the program.
And that's how it's supposed to be. Nobody's supposed to know what's going on in that household.
She don't care who. She don't care. I said that. She don't care who don't call. She don't care about none of that. She just focused on she makes sure that our house is clean.
Yes, right.
And the atmosphere is what it needs to be. And the other thing is, that when I come in the house,
but you are a willing participant.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. When I come in the house, though, she makes sure that even if we've had a intense fellowship, when I come, by the time I make it home, she makes sure that the atmosphere is different when I come in the house. I love that. For a man.
You need to counsel some of these people.
Because
People
Yeah.
would just take one thing and run with it.
Yeah.
It takes two
Yeah.
to tango.
It does.
Okay,
It
you
does.
gotta.
It does.
It does.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to
It
bring y'all
does.
back on the other podcast.
It-
Of women's
It- it-
conversations.
it's not that only taking two. You have to take yourself outside of yourself to know who you are and admit to yourself your issues.
Yes.
Right? That's step one. So I know that, okay, I have an issue communicating. And when he says this, I'm like, okay, why do I have issue communicating? Because I used to talk a lot. And then I realized that when I was younger, I just got shut down a lot. No one listened to me. When I tried to say this is happening, that's happening, it's like, oh girl, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a liar. You know, you're not telling the truth. So I got shut down a lot when I was younger. And, you know, that switched something inside of me to help me handle and cope with
I
that.
have watched my wife be mistreated by people, and she's the sweetest individual that I've met in her family. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've watched so many, but you know what I realized? People that have callings and they have purpose and they have special, they're always treated that way.
Yeah. That's why I was bringing up the stuff like that.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to support their partner through illness but doesn't know where to start?
I would tell them step one would, for me, I would tell them to fast. That's
Okay.
always step one.
Okay.
You need to fast. And you need to
For
fast
clarity.
from people, places, and things. It ain't just about food all the time.
Mhm.
Fasting is not about what you're eating. Yes, that's a part of it. We want you to do that too. But you need to figure out mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, where are you? Because you need to love someone unconditionally. You have to, my motto, I always say, is treat people how I want to be treated.
Mhm.
And if I'm going through and I'm acting a hot mess, I want somebody to love me through it.
Mhm.
I want somebody to love me hard and be stumped down and devoted to me. So why not be that person? I need to be that example of what I want to see.
Absolutely. So many people just talk and don't walk what it is that they
You
preach.
have to walk it how you talk it. What's the song?
Okay. Now you
Why you
talk.
going?
You know, I'm be on tap.
I'm
You
like, I
helping
don't
me
know.
out?
I'm just repeating after you making it sound good. I'm
You
like,
know what it is.
I don't know. I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. We
Yeah.
gonna move on to purpose and advocacy. Lorenzo, your story is one of many that is in faith. How did this experience shift your purpose in life?
Well, I mean, at first, going through all of this, I mean, fighting sickness and disease since the age of 17, being 55 now. I didn't understand at first, but now I'm beginning to understand that my life and my journey and who I am, and it kind of came from her, from my wife. She said to me one day, she said, "Honey, I was just praying, and you know, you are hope.
Mm-hmm.
You represent hope." And I let that marinate with me for a while, and I accepted that. And my life, my mental, and the way that I go about doing things, because I believe that I am here to be an example of what it is to fight,
Mm-hmm.
to continue no matter what,
Yeah.
to walk by faith and not by sight,
Mm-hmm.
to understand that there is something that is greater than you, that is within you, that is greater than that which is in the world. So I'm real big on your mental. I think that your mind, if you receive death in your mind, your body, whatever you receive in your mind, your body's going to line up with that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I believe that no matter what you're going through, focus on your mind, feed yourself positive information, speak life to yourself. So when people see me walking in the hospital after having surgery, on the street fighting for my lungs, riding my bike, and they see me sharing, somebody might say, "Oh, this dude, he's sharing his whole life." What they don't see is me. I'm prophesying to my own world
Mm-hmm.
out loud in front of everybody. It don't matter to me. I don't care what you think,
Yep.
because I got so many people that say, "Man, even though they not doing that much support, and they don't really comment all the time. When I see them, they be like, bro, you the way you move, man,
It motivates them.
It's
It
motivating.
encourages
And
them.
it should.
It gives them hope,
And it
you know,
should.
and no excuses.
Yeah,
That part.
no excuses.
As a couple, how have you used your journey to inspire or educate others, especially in your community?
I mean, this is why Journey to a Better Health is born, because we want to give a lifeline
Mm,
to others, to let them know that nothing's impossible unless you make it.
that's it. That's all.
Hmm?
What message do you hope people take away from your experience on this episode?
We want them to be positive, to know that no matter what's going on in your world, you can get through it if you believe.
Keep living.
You keep living.
Keep living no matter what.
No matter what. You fight through it, because the other side is going to be well worth it.
You know, and I just, we took everything that we went through, we took all of the logs and we turned them into formulas.
Mm-hmm.
So everything we have is everything we used on my body
Because we
Yeah.
wanted to help.
because we wanted to help.
We wanted to help.
We wanted to show people. We didn't want people to have to go through what we went through. So
Mhm.
we took everything that we had and we turned it into formulas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we presented. Everything we had was made out of love for the fight for my life.
Yep.
All of it.
Yep. And that's why we give personal consultations. That's why that's a part of our service. If a person wants to say, I'm dealing with this, and this, and I need help, we'll sit down with you to help you through that, so that you won't have to do what we did, to figure it out and this and that. And you don't have to, we tried all of that already. We've already mowed the lawn, right?
You got the blueprint now.
Right?
To hand it over.
That's right. Now we want to say, okay, let's walk you through it. What do you want to do though? And my husband is big on this. When he comes in and he's talking to them or their loved one or whoever their support is, because the first question is, who is your support system? That's step one. Because when you're going through and you're down, you need someone to help
You do.
pull you back in,
No
right?
No matter what you say,
No
you
ma-
don't need nobody.
You do.
You do need someone.
Because
You
you're
do.
going to have that day where you're not strong enough. When he was having those days where I can't do this, I'm not strong, I would go and I would make some essential oil mix and I would massage his feet and just to relax him. I'll put lavender in
He's
there,
like, I want one
chamomile.
tonight.
tomorrow. That's tomorrow. But I would put lavender in it and chamomile just to relax him, so that it would take some stress off him, because that's the last thing I wanted, because I know that would enable the healing.
Had the kids doing it. My baby, she had them all.
Let's rub on that, Dad. Yeah.
That is amazing. We're going to move to closing reflection. If you can describe your journey in one word, what would it be and why?
In one word?
In one word.
Keep living.
What would yours be?
Faith.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's next for the Williams family, personally or in advocacy?
Well, we are nutrition advocates. So we want to really, really start focusing on showing people how to feed their cells what they need, because one of the things that I think we're really, really uneducated on is how the body really, really works. What's necessary. Everybody's body is different.
Yes.
Everybody don't need the same thing. She might need one thing for her body. I might need something else. Like you said, you have to know your blood type. You need to know what's going on. So we really want to just educate and help people get. One of the missions that we have with our nonprofit is we really want to get nutrients to the people that's less fortunate. We want to be able to help people that. So that's our goal. We're going to keep building. No matter what. That's
Keep
the goal.
building.
Yep. We're going to keep building. We're going to keep
I love
helping,
it.
keep pushing,
With
keep
or without
feeding.
you.
Make sure
Yep.
whatever
Or
y'all
without
got
you.
going on, y'all come on here so
Right.
you can promote it to the world.
Yeah.
I love doing that.
If you ain't ready, call us when you get ready.
That's right. What would you say to couples currently walking through their own battles right now?
I would say from my perspective, the person that's going through it,
Mhm.
focus on, work on your mental, work on your mind. Don't allow the doctor to tell you something and you just receive it in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Feed yourself positive information daily,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
all day, every day. Feed yourself positive, and just realize that when they told me that I wasn't gonna be here, I had a moment where I sat down and I heard a voice just give me the understanding that God was in control. No matter what's going on, accept the fact that God is in control.
Mm-hmm.
What you cannot see, you give back to Him.
Yeah.
And you focus on what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say.
Okay, now listen, you guys. You know they coming back next week. So we gotta end this with
Yes.
a banger. Well, it's already been a banger. So as we wrap up tonight's powerful conversation about love, faith, and endurance, I understand that something life-changing recently happened in your world. How did you first find out about the incredible news, your son?
Oh my
And
God.
you're not gonna go into that because this you gotta wait for this episode.
You're
But
right.
this is something special, incredible.
Let me say this. After everything that I have experienced, I thought that there was nothing else to experience. I have had some
Mm-hmm.
situations where I have
Mm-hmm.
been just not getting the love. And I don't know how far you want.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. How did you feel?
Like amazing guys.
I was just like,
Something happened to me that was amazing.
I was just looking at the Lord like, well, you
Man.
just always got something, don't you? Yes, you know. I was just like, we need to learn this today. And I was more concerned about just how he would feel.
Amazing.
You know, because it's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. It's
Can't
nothing
say
but a
nothing
blessing.
about it.
It's a blessing.
Uh-huh.
Nope. So stay tuned for the story.
Yes, you guys.
Yeah, you gotta come back.
Yes, you definitely gotta come back. Like I said, their story is amazing. They took on my whole November, which is super, super dope. So in order for you guys to catch up, please do go to Lupus Has No Face podcast to catch up on the episodes of last week, this week, and before you get to next week. And remember, we never, ever, ever fight alone. And to encourage the listeners to go ahead and follow A Journey to a Better Health for more inspiration stories. And, you can find a tea and a book and tap into all the things that they do have going on. Thank you so very much for tuning in every Wednesday at 6:30 on all platforms. Until next time.